Heyo guys, welcome back to another video. All of the OP11 leaders have finally been revealed, and I wanted to make a quick little video just going over all the leaders. We don't have the full set, but we have already seen, just these leaders themselves are crazy. OP11 is going to be nuts, and we've already seen some really strong cards that have been revealed just over the past week or so. So I wanted to make this video as a quick little overview, or if you need a video that has it all in one place so you can kind of catch up on the news over the past week, see what the leaders do. I'll have all the translations and everything, and we can talk just a little bit about like some of the new synergies and new effects and everything that are going on. And real quick, if you do like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel, because it really helps me make more stuff like this and gives me more time and opportunity to make more videos for you guys. So I really appreciate it if you do. But without any further ado, let's just jump in and let's get started. All right. These are the OP11 leaders. First of all, they're all bangers. They all look amazing. I love the art on all of these. I know some people don't like some of them, and I normally have a nitpick with like one or two of the leaders of each set. I have no complaints. These are amazing. Nami's my favorite Straw Hat, one of my favorite characters in the entire all of One Piece. I love this alt art so much. SHIRAHOSHI looks amazing too. All of them look great. I'm not gonna sit here and just talk too much about them, but we got a KOBY leader, Nami, new Nami, the second Nami leader. SHIRAHOSHI's here. We got like Gear 4, SNAKEMAN, Luffy. We got KATAKURI with the Riz, and we got Scary JINBE. Scary JINBE is here to play. So let's just jump into it and let's go over all the leaders first. Starting with SHIRAHOSHI here. Obviously green yellow. It's a dual color but 5 life because it can't attack, so another one of those leaders, which is really interesting because this is the first time we've had it in green yellow. And her effect is activate main. Once per turn, you may rest one of your Dawn and flip the top card of your life face up. You may play from your hand up to 1 character card with the Sea King type, or up to 1 Megalo character card with the cost equal to or less than the total Dawn on your board. So similar to Kalgara and just kind of like being able to cheat out bodies, but obviously you don't take the life this time, you flip it face up. And I'm not going to try and talk too much about SHIRAHOSHI because we just don't have enough info, enough cards. I think we've had like basically 2. There's a SHIRAHOSHI promo, and then we also have this card. Neptune got revealed the other day, and it's a 5 cost 7k, which is good stat line, but it's counterless, and it's on play. If your leader is SHIRAHOSHI, you may turn the top of your life cards face down, draw 2 cards and discard 1. So essentially this is going to be like one of your on curve pieces that you're going to want to see. You use leader effect, you play him out, and then the card you flipped up face up for leader effect, you immediately get to flip face down, which is nice because with stuff like pudding, leaders like pudding, you always kind of had to like flip it back down the next turn with that like KATAKURI or whatever. But this will be interesting, and it's a good stat line. So you know, if you cheat it out on your 5 Dawn turn, like it's pretty good, because you only have to pay 1, right? Because the leader effect is rest 1 Dawn. So if you have 5 Dawn, you rest 1, and then you could play a 4 cost and a 5 cost on your 5 Dawn turn, which sounds pretty good to me. So I'm really excited about SHIRAHOSHI. I will definitely be playing her. I love yellow and green is my favorite color combo in the entire game, and having a potentially really cool, like this seems like it'll be kind of like sort of control-y, but like you're just slamming down Sea Kings late game and like going ham and going crazy. So we'll see. And if you don't know, Megalo is like her pet shark thing, little dude. So I'm excited to see what they give for him. But you know, SHIRAHOSHI's awesome. She's a really cool character. This art is amazing, and I can't wait to try her out. All right, moving on, we got Luffy, our boy. Yet another Luffy leader, but this one's really cool. It's another 3 life, 6k power one, so similar to RP Luffy. And the effect is, you may activate this effect at the start of your turn. If you have 8 or more Dawn, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card, and add it to your hand. Then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So yes, you can place it on the top. And the way this works, just so everyone knows like ahead of time with clarification, is this effect activates before your refresh phase. So essentially before your turn even starts, like literally at the start of your turn, before you refresh your Dawn, before you do anything, before you draw, before you get more Dawn. So it needs to be the turn that is leading into your 10 Dawn turn, where you have 8 or 9 Dawn already on the field. You can't use this. You can't ramp to 8 Dawn and then use the effect. It doesn't work like that. That would be crazy broken. Because this is already a really cool effect that's going to be doing some crazy stuff with like 9 cost Sanji, playing out other 9 cost, like 9 cost Mom, Lin, Big Mom, and Rush Luffy. Anything really. And one of the new cards that Sanji is also going to be playing is this bad boy. This is an 8 cost. This is one of the secret rares from the set. 8 cost, 8,000 Rush. and it's not an on-play rush, it's just rush. And then when attacking, you may discard 1 card from your hand, return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand, then give up to 1 rested Dawn to your leader or character. So you can give yourself the Dawn, and you just become 8 cost 9k rush that bounces a Burgess back to hand. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe a Burgess or something. Like a lot of these cards are kind of... So you're going to notice in OP11, a lot of these effects are geared around kind of like attacking when played, attacking into active characters, and like just being way more proactive in dealing with your opponent's board and stuff, which is really cool because honestly, that's the kind of playstyle I love. That's why Hody Jones is my favorite card in the entire game. I like having a little bit of control and being reactive to some things, but I really love being like having the option of being proactive. Really, really strong. I do think this is going to be played in the blue purple Luffy and probably maybe Nami. I'm not really sure, but just wanted to throw that out there as well. But really, really cool. I think this leader will be very, very strong, but I'm just not quite sure how strong yet because late game you get some crazy advantage and you get some crazy combos that you can do. But there are some kind of like glaring weaknesses or like small holes, small faults that I also have been kind of seeing, trying this out on the sim just a little bit and just watching people's gameplay video of it. So really interested to see where he ends up. But that's it for Luffy. Let's move on to the next one. All right, and what better way to follow up Luffy with good old KOBY. This is a fan favorite. So he is a red-black 4-life leader, and he's Navy and Sword, so that's important. His typing is Sword as well as Navy. So his effect is your Sword-type characters can attack characters the turn they are played. So he just has Kurita Coliseum effect for Sword characters just baked into his leader effect, which is kind of crazy. Then once per turn, when one of your Navy type characters with an original power of 7,000 or less is removed from play by your opponent's effects, instead you may place 3 cards from your trash on the bottom of your deck in any order. So what this means is any of your Navy type cards with the original power of 7k or less, you can protect them like once a turn as long as you have 3 cards from your trash that you can put to the bottom of your deck. And this is removed from play. This is not just KO. This is not just bottom decking. It's everything. It's like Hawkins effect where it's anytime you're removed from play, right? So of course, like if they rest your character and then swing over it or have something that can attack an active character, you can't use this effect to save it. I think this is really strong. So the thing here is like, right, he's kind of got this attack, like offensive and defensive leader capability, which is really cool to see. And it's not just built around reducing cost and KOing your opponent's characters, which I love. As a green player, I didn't want to just see another like, you know, minus cost and just KO everything type of effect. So this is going to be interesting. I know some people were like really bummed when this was announced and they're like, they think he's going to be bad. I don't know what you guys are smoking. I think Koby's going to be really, really strong. Just being able to play down a 4-cost Kuzan on curve and just know that like nothing, almost nothing can like get it off the board is going to be really, really strong. And then the new 7-cost Sengoku is amazingly strong with this leader as well, just because he is 7k and because of this card as well. So this is the other secret rare is the 8-cost 9k KOBY, and on play, it's up to one of your characters can attack one of your opponent's active characters during this turn. So that also means him. Like he can do these effects on him too. And when attacking, you may return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Give your leader up to one of your characters plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you can use this effect, you can play him, and since he can attack active characters, even if your opponent doesn't have a rested character, it can just attack the active character, and then it can use the when attacking effect to essentially make your leader a 6k until the start of your next turn. So your opponent's turn, you're still a 6k. So imagine getting 2 of these guys on the field. It's kind of late game. You've built up your trash. It's not hard for you to send 4 cards to the bottom of your deck. You can just swing 9k, buff your leader up to 7 every turn, like, you know, until one or both of the Kobys get removed. But if they're going to try and remove KOBY through effects, you can save it at least once. So this is going to be a really sticky, tanky leader, and I can't wait to see some more of the sword cards. We did already get a 6-cost Helmeppo revealed that's going to basically let you play out this 8-cost KOBY from the trash on your 6th on turn, but then you have to send him back to the bottom of your deck afterwards. But it's like, that's so strong. You just played a 6 cost character, and then also just got to summon a 9k beater who can just make your leader a 6k and swing 9k into a active character. That's crazy. So the power creep in this set is insane, and I think KOBY is going to get the support he needs to be like a really awesome leader. And the other cool thing about this is he's probably going to be pretty good against all black decks, including Teach. Like, just not being able to like get rid of any of KOBY's characters as long as they're Navy, and then stuff like this where you're just like, hey, nice Burgess. What's he, 7k? Boom. I'm just going to swing 9k, potentially 10k. You can just make this KOBY 10k as well. So it's going to be really, really strong. I think he's going to have a lot of really interesting matchups, but he is still 4 life. So that's the one thing. Like, he may not be amazingly strong just because he's 4 life. Or like, he may not be busted because he has 4 life, which is good. That would be a good balance. I think Bandai is going out on a limb in OP11 to try and make things really, really strong, but also balanced. So let's see if it works, but it could be just way too crazy, but we'll find out. That's it for KOBY. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next we got my boy JINBE, scary JINBE. I like how his normal art is like really cute, and then they're just like, no, make him scary AF is his alt art. So I have been hyping up wanting to play Nami and SHIRAHOSHI, but let's be real, guys. I'm a green player. I think we all know who I'm probably gonna build, and maybe end up playing for the rest of the set. if I'm not playing Bonnie, if you don't see me playing Bonnie, you might just see me playing JINBE, but I promise I will still be playing Nami and SHIRAHOSHI. But I think out of all the leaders, this one is probably going to resonate the most with me and the playstyle that I like. And I think JINBE, I'm just going to throw it out here now, I think JINBE is potentially the most slept on leader out of this entire set. Yes, Nami could potentially be broken, but JINBE's effect is so strong, and like cards like Fisher Tiger and the new JINBE that got revealed have just opened up the door to so many possibilities that green really hasn't been able to do, which is really, really awesome. But let's go over his effect. So he's a green leader, he's Fishman and Straw Hat Crew, which is nice. End of your turn, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, set up to 1 of your Fishman or Merfolk type character cards, and up to 1 Dawn is active. So really, really important here is it's both, which is cool. 6 or less cards is like, okay, not the hardest thing to meet. There are going to be times where, especially if your opponent's being very aggro and like you can't counter out of everything, you're going to end up with 7 or more. But 6 or less is still a fine threshold for me. I think if they made it 7 or less, it might have just been too easy to hit, so I understand why they went with 6. But this one just on paper, you're like, yeah, so what does it do? But let me just show you this, and then we'll keep talking about it. This is the new JINBE that got revealed. It's 6 cost 8k, and on play, if your leader is Fishman or Merfolk, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, which is already decent, especially with those stat lines. Then activate main once per turn. This is activate main once per turn. Up to 1 of your Fishman or Merfolk characters can attack characters the same turn they are played. So that just means essentially it's Coliseum. They have stage. They're like baking in Kurita Coliseum into like all these characters, and I kind of love it. Also crazy art here. If you were wondering, yes, this is the same artist that did the original Hody alt art too, so shout out to them. Giga Chad scary JINBE. They're just like, we gotta make him scary. We gotta make him scary, otherwise he won't be strong. But okay, so with cards like Fisher Tiger that also rest and can attack active characters or attack characters the turn they're played, and this JINBE, and then like basically this is gonna be a weird type of control that we've never seen before, where you're gonna be like playing characters either with rush or resting abilities that can attack characters the same turn they're played, and then when you finish your turn you just stand them back as active. And I think it's gonna be really, really strong. And let's just not forget it's green, so things like 8 cost Kid, 10 cost Dofi, 9 cost Zoro if we're feeling spicy enough, but like 9 cost Shanks, all those power cards are still there. I do hope we get like a specific Fishman power card, which would just be really nice. Even if it's leader locked to JINBE, I don't care. Just make it give us another like specific good card, because sometimes they just give like, green is a weird color in One Piece. They give generic cards that like aren't good enough sometimes, and then they give specific ones that are like harder to use, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm really, really excited for JINBE. If I'm being honest, like the leader that I think I'll end up playing the most, it could be him. And then I'll be maining Nami and SHIRAHOSHI on the side, being a little guy, being a little chill dude. But yeah, JINBE is cool. I really am excited for him. I think people are sleeping on him hard. But let's move on to the next leader. We got our boy KATAKURI. Yeah, we got a mono purple KATAKURI, which is really interesting. So his effect is when attacking / when opponents attacks. Once per turn, Dawn -1. Look at the top card of your opponent's deck, then give this leader 1k power for this battle. So cool effect design, if you ask me, because both the SNAKEMAN Luffy and this KATAKURI are doing kind of like future sight kind of effects, which are really cool. If you've seen the fight in the manga or watched the anime, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But really cool design. I think this is an interesting effect that similar to JINBE, you read it and you're like, yeah, so what, who cares? But I think it's actually pretty strong, because this one with certain cards, again, let me show you the card that I'm showing for the support, and then we can come back and talk about it. This is a 10 cost Linlin. They just love printing 10 cost big moms, and it's a 10 cost 12k. If your leader has the big mom pirates type, this character gains rush. What? This is a rare, by the way. What? And then the secondary effect is on your opponent's attack once per turn, Dawn -5. You may declare a cost. Reveal one card from the top of your opponent's deck. If the revealed card has the same cost as the declared cost, give up to one of your leaders plus 2k during this turn. So what that means is you can use KATAKURI effect before you use Big Mom's effect. Yes, this is going to be -6 Dawn, but with cards like Black Maria who are chilling, and you can just throw them into this deck, it's potentially not even going to hurt you at all. You can end up going like barely, you still have to get the Dawn back on your own turn, but Black Maria will just help you. You just won't have as much Dawn starting your next turn, right? So you use KATAKURI effect. First of all, you look at their top card, which is just great information. This is like, I think it's going to be extremely underrated, knowing your opponent's hand, because if you play stuff like 3 cost pudding, you can just start using this from like turn 2 and not get punished for it. You're not actually Dawn minusing anything. And if you run like 5 cost Kid, I'm sure they're going to get like a similar card like 5 cost Kid to help this KATAKURI out. You're just going to be playing with like so much information to where I think it's really going to affect like how the match goes. Unless you're just always going to lose, then it doesn't help as much, but still I think that's going to be very valuable. So you use leader effect, you Dawn -1, you look at the card and you get plus 1k. Now you're 6k leader. Then you use Big Mom's effect, you minus another 5, and you just saw their card, so you say what the cost is, and then you get plus 2k. So now you're what, 3k? You're 8k. You're an 8k leader. And the 2k is for the turn, and this 1k is just for the battle. So you're an 8k leader for the battle, and then a 7k leader for the rest of the turn, which is really interesting. And there's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 kind of main things that we're seeing from OP11. One is the like Kurita Coliseum kind of attacking and like manipulating your opponent's characters and being able to attack active characters. The other one is like this kind of like +1, +2k to your leaders at different times throughout the turn. And then 3, I think, is like the kind of the design of like being able to see the future sight kind of thing, and just knowing, getting to draw or see what your opponent is going to draw, which is really cool. I know this is random, like a little bit off topic, but I actually think like the concept and the design of OP11 is one of my favorites I've ever seen Bandai do, and I want to applaud them on that, because I know people don't really like to talk about this stuff, or like they don't care to talk about this stuff, but I think it's actually really good. And while the power creep might be kind of insane, I just want to give a shout out, because this is one of the most anticipated sets for me since I've started playing back in OP1. So yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Don't know like exactly how strong he's going to be, but similar to JINBE, people were kind of poo-pooing him and thinking he's going to be really bad. I would just wait, bro. Just hold your horses. I think he might be pretty good. But let's move on to the last leader, my most anticipated one. You know her, you love her. It's Nami, baby. All right. So we got another Nami leader. Yes, my favorite Straw Hat. I love Nami. She's kind of like the character that got me hooked in the manga and like kept me reading through like the first couple arcs, just because I really thought she's awesome. East Blue Nami is best Nami. Fight me. And while I like the original Blue Nami leader, she's cool. I had a lot of fun playing her back in like OP03, OP04. but it just kind of got to this point where I felt like it was just too RNG based, and I started to not really like the leader anymore. So I've been hoping for a new Nami leader for a while. I was hoping we'd get an Egghead Nami leader, which would have been really, really cool, but this is fine. This is cool as well. Let's go over the effect. So blue, yellow, interesting color combo there, 4 life. All right. Sorry, I had to fix the wording on the effect. So the effect is, during your turn, once per turn, when a life leaves any life pile, you may activate this effect. Draw 1 card if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand. Then the secondary effect is Dawn ×1. When opponent attacks once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand. Give this leader 2,000 power for this turn. What? So 2,000 power for this battle even would have been pretty strong, but they just went all in and just like, nope, it's for the turn. So essentially, if you can kind of piece it together, what you're doing is manipulating your or your opponent's life to get extra draw. And then if you have a Dawn on your leader, when your opponent attacks you, you can get rid of a counterless or any card that you don't need to just give your leader a blanket plus 2k 7k leader for the whole turn. This is really, really strong, and I know people have been kind of talking about it, but it's like this kind of effect definitely borders on like Sakazuki level of like potential brokenness, which is kind of scary, but also like kind of cool. Again, it is a 4 life leader, so as long as it's not a 5 life leader, I think an effect like this is okay. Obviously, this would be crazy if it was on a 5 life leader, but as long as you're a 4 life leader, there are weaknesses you can exploit, right? Like Yamato is always an option against a 4 life leader. I don't think this Nami will be able to play tons of blockers, so I honestly still think this Nami could potentially have a rough matchup into black. I think she'll struggle into certain things, maybe even teach. So we'll have to see. Before we all like go crazy and just say this is like tier 0, we should probably just like wait a little bit. But as like just potential wise, I think this is incredibly strong, and there's a small sliver of potential of this for this to be like a new like Sakazuki or borderline Sakazuki RP Law kind of level. So really interested to see how this one will go. And here's a card. This is a Sanji. I don't even know like if this one's specifically for Nami, but this I think she could use it strongly. 6 cost 7k. When this character is KO'd by an opponent's effect, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and play up to 1 character card with the Straw Hat Crew type and a cost of 5 or less on the field. Then place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. And then on play, return up to 1 character with an original power of 5,000 or less to the owner's hand. So just really strong, kind of crazy. You're just like playing out something and then bouncing a 5,000 power or less. And with cards like Zeus was revealed too. Really awesome art, I love it. Which is just a crazy 2k counter. It's like Thunderbolt as a 2k counter. And then Nojiko, recently people have been kind of like piecing this together, because if your leader is Nami, so you can return 5 cost or less, it's going to be like, if you like Blue Dofi, if you like bouncing with 4 cost Law and Jozu, like this might be the deck for you, because these types of cards are going to be really, really strong. And essentially those like potential weaknesses that I was talking about, where Nami might struggle if you can go wide and just like get a bunch of 7Ks at her, she might struggle. But then the thing is like it's blue, so she can run stuff like Gravity Blade, and she has this Sanji to bounce and also play out your own characters. And then you have tech cards like this where you can just like, I mean, I'm sure Zeus is just going to be a 4 of in this deck, but, running stuff like Nojiko, and if you run Jozu yourself, you can just bounce Nojiko back to your hand, and it's like, oh my god, the possibilities are going to be kind of crazy. I love Nami. She's awesome. She's probably going to be really, really strong. I'm excited to test her out. The effect is really cool, so we'll have to see how the builds kind of shape up and how the playstyle will end up being. But I love Nami, so we're going to play her. And that's the last leader. So what do you think? Do you like the leaders? Do you like the arts? Do you not like them? Do you think Nami's broken? Do you think people are overreacting? Do you think Koby sucks? Do you think Jinbe should have been cute as his alt art and scary as his regular art? All these questions and more can be answered down in the comment section below, so throw them at me. Let me know what you're thinking. What are you most excited to play if you're over there in the West? And just want to give a quick shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And consider liking and subscribing. Check me out on Twitch, because I do play over there 2 or 3 times a week at Fidelio TCG. But just for now, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.